What is going on, everyone? It is TJ and Francis Jackson, and we are here for another Q&A live.
That's the plan.
This is the last day of August of 2022, August 31st. Tomorrow we start a whole new month, September, and again, this year is flying by, but that's okay. It's been a productive year for myself, Miss Franny J, the family. It's been a very, very good year.
It has.
Anything you want to say, Francis, before we get into some Q&As?
No, I'm just enjoying our little vacation. I do miss the children, though.
She
I do miss them.
missing the children, but all is well back home. We've been checking in. The kids have been doing their school and sports and other activities, and we have been on vacation here in the French Riviera. You know, we realized that it's too dark to show or to do this anywhere cool, so we're just doing it in a section of our hotel room.
Unfortunately, guys.
The planning the lighting and all that good stuff. I mean, we could have done this outside, but
No, why couldn't we have, though?
oh, we couldn't have done that because I get eaten up by mosquitoes.
We were at the pool earlier, and they were just getting TJ. And TJ does not like cold water. He had to get in the water just to get away from the mosquitoes.
That's right. And that water was cold, but the mosquitoes' bites hurt more than the cold water. So I was a fish today, you guys. I was in the water. Okay, Francis, we have a couple of questions already.
Okay.
This is from Valerie. Valerie wants to know, does a Family Rules membership accept PayPal as a payment method? Francis?
You know I don't know that answer. I don't know why you're playing.
I'll be honest. I don't know the answer. Because it's our channel that we're doing the membership from, we don't have to answer this question. So anyone who is experienced it, who is a member, maybe you guys can answer this question for Valerie at some point during this live.
I feel like you could.
You should be able to.
Yeah.
PayPal's a pretty, I think it's also the standard.
It's bigger in Europe, though, than it is in the States, right?
We'll see. I think someone's going to let us know. And for those who don't know about the membership is exactly that. It's a membership for the Family Rules. There's a join button right next to the subscribe button where you can join. And there are 3 different levels. There's Bruh, Queen, and Knights.
So funny when you say that.
Well, that's what its name is.
I know.
And the Queens is where we do the live chats weekly. We're going to actually do one most likely tomorrow. And the Knights, you get, usually it's every week, bonus content. There's a whole library now of night content that's very cool. Some throwback stuff from many years ago. I actually have a really cool one that I've been meaning to put up. Franny, you got to remind me. Maybe tomorrow I'll put that one up. But there's a lot of cool stuff we do for our members. You get emojis, you get little badges, stuff like that. So it's there's just a lot of little perks you can get. Sine says, I don't think they accept PayPal. I've never seen PayPal. So that so far is the answer, Valerie. I don't know that answer. Teresa says, I use PayPal for everything and I'm in the States.
Okay.
So okay, well, we'll find out the answer. In the meantime, Lydia says, I didn't know this live was on Facebook too. How cool. That is right. We are currently on Twitter as well. We fluctuate between Twitter and Twitch. So it's simultaneously on Facebook, on YouTube, and Twitter or Twitch. So there you go. Yafavgio says, Franny, drop the skincare routine.
I think we just did this, last week?
No, but she won. I think they want a video.
Okay. It's going to be pretty boring.
What do you mean it's going to be boring? You have great skincare.
Because it doesn't. I just don't. I think the key to good skin, though, is just me not wearing makeup when I was younger, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think what happens, I could be wrong. I'm not an esthetician or a dermatologist or anything like that. But I do feel like the more you put on your face, it kind of over time makes your pores bigger. And I think when you have bigger pores, I think that's where it depends on, I don't know, the skin type, I guess.
All right, well, that's just something you thought that
my necklace keeps shining. Should I take it off?
Take it off. Let me see. Shining bright like a diamond, Francis. It's all good. this is another thing.
Jeez.
You're getting a lot of love. Kyra, by the way, Francis, yesterday she turned 25.
Nice, Kyra.
She says she loves us. We love you too, Kyra. Happy birthday to you.
Yes.
Um,
25. What an age.
great time. Great time. I don't want to say the best time of the life because I truly think there's some wonderful years ahead, but this is up there, Kyra. So enjoy it. Don't take things too seriously.
Yeah,
Grow from everything, learn from everything, and just enjoy the time. That's what would
I
be my
agree.
advice to you.
I agree.
Hector, Francis, our
Hey,
friend Hector.
Hector.
Hector says, "Aha, you should buy a house here." Well, Hector,
Well,
I've actually been looking into it.
he's been doing that for the last hour.
I have. I have. I was supposed to shower, bathe, and read, but I got into looking up properties in Europe. So
Mm-hmm.
I think we're about a year away, Hector, but I think in a year's time I'm really going to start looking into doing that. I want to move my family out here for a 7-8 month period so that they can learn Spanish, likely in Spain. But I just think it's really cool to be able to go to so many great different cities and cultures in Europe. And it's a different mentality here in Europe that
Yeah,
I think is very healthy for everyone. And I guess we should talk about some of those, Francis. The
I think it's
different
really beautiful. Yeah, what
what
I've seen.
what. Okay, we've been here for almost 2 weeks now, here in Europe. Well, a week and a half. Has it been even been a week?
It's
Yeah,
been
it's
a
been a
week.
little over a week.
Yes.
What have you noticed about the European mindset versus the American mindset?
So I'll tell you one thing. I was sitting on the balcony yesterday and just kind of watching people. It was around dinner time, so a lot of people, like there was three different families on their balconies having dinner. And what I noticed is that they were all eating together and not one person had a phone.
Mm.
Not the child, not the parents. They were all sitting there. And I was really intrigued by that. I thought that was beautiful.
So, to answer that question, Hector, I think it's gonna happen. I really
Yeah.
do. Me and Francis, there. It's not easy ever moving a family when you have kids, for multiple reasons. One being, especially with our kids getting to the age where they have friends.
I think once they hit that high school age, that teenage age, I think that's when it gets more difficult.
But at the same time, there's something very cool and healthy about experiencing different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
And with us being in the States, oftentimes Americans, in my opinion, get into a false sense thinking that America's the world, and there's so much more to learn and so many great, important concepts to grasp for Americans that I don't think we get. Just like Francis said, the family thing. We walked in the south of France. We're in the south of France. We've been walking along the beach, and it's been really beautiful to say in a very healthy way
Mm-hmm.
that there's been just people being free.
Yeah.
Women are topless. I know that may sound like, oh, the American way of hearing that is like, oh, he's a guy being a guy. But I truly, when I first saw that, I truly thought this is why I feel like Europe doesn't have the same issues the States does,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't objectify, you guys don't objectify women, at least nearly as much as I think we do here in the States. And then it brought me back to my Aunt Janet's whole situation with the Super Bowl and how now when people say in Europe, what was the big fuss about? We don't understand it. I get it why you don't
Yeah.
understand it.
It's just backwards because look, America, I think there's a lot more violence, but at the same time, the guns and then versus like you have to cover up your body, that's not accepted. To me, that doesn't make sense.
I'm gonna take this off, AJ, because it
Go
is
ahead.
shining.
Okay, every time I move. TJ's learned the class.
You could still talk though.
TJ has learned because I'm watching you be so like.
But this is the point I want to make. It's like the way the people react to a female above the waist nudity is so healthy. It's so real.
It's like it's just normal. It's to me, a woman's body is beautiful, no matter what shape or size. I think it's beautiful.
It's so human, and it's even like, we went to a lot of art museums, and we see a lot of that in, with the sculptures and everything. And I think it's just such a better, healthier mindset, where in the States it's just objectified. It's used in a different way that to me is not as healthy. So
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things I want my kids to be around and to understand. I think it's a healthier mindset, and it brings to more unity and more love. And
I agree.
I don't know how to explain it, but I hope you guys understand it. Carol wants to know, are people friendly? So far, we've
Yeah.
experienced only, real friendly. You get occasional people who are moody or,
But that's just who they are. I think they're rude to everyone. It's not just
and then we get that in the States. So,
yeah.
but for the most part, we've been very, happy. We're staying in hotels where people are taught to, be hospitable to you. So
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to really tell, but so far we've loved it. It
Yeah.
was great. And Carol, you also want to know, how was the concert with 3T? It was really, really, really good. It's always wonderful performing with my brothers. I am actually going to be writing a newsletter, and not only will I talk a bit about my concert with my brothers in 3T, but there's two cool announcements that I am making as an artist.
Mm.
Um, Franny knows about one, maybe both, but yeah,
Okay.
so there's some cool announcements. So if you're enjoying my career as an artist or into it, please make sure you subscribe, because there's some cool stuff that are coming in the next couple of days. That's how I'll
I
leave
better get
it.
my newsletter this time.
You said you haven't been getting it.
I haven't.
Emmy wants a tutorial, Francis. So you're getting a lot of requests.
All right, Emmy. How would I do that? Just I do have a channel.
Yeah, you
But
have a
I
channel,
don't.
or you could put it on this channel. It's all good. Celine says, "Hi, TJ and Franny. It's always good to see you. How was your trip in south of France? Love you both."
I love you too.
How's our trip, Francis?
It's so refreshing, honestly. It's been so amazing, really.
It's been really, really
Now,
relaxing.
do you think it's more relaxing because last month it was so much go, 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 more stress and kids, and like we had to be on our P's and Q's? It was, I mean, I don't feel like we had a downtime.
That was us earlier. I don't think I think it maybe plays a small role in it. But truthfully, Francis, I just think we've been on the go for many years, that when we get time away,
We really enjoy it.
and it feels really healthy and refreshing for us. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just been, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place with good food and very comfortable. So we've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
We've been really, really enjoying our vacation, our getaway. Probably our last one for the year. Or do we have one more?
Well, we have we have one more maybe before mom leaves, but with us, I don't know. I
Mhm.
think we're gonna sneak another one in.
We're gonna try. I'm not
Not
gonna
far
lie.
though. We can't go far. It has to be an hour or so from home.
Maybe. I don't know if we'll be
So we'll
able to.
see.
Time flies.
Yeah, it does.
Francis, you remember Hanbin Park?
Yes.
Yes, our Park Hanbin, but the first name is Hanbin. I got that. Hi, TJ and Francis. Good news. Recently, I had eye surgery, so now I can see. I got my eyesight back. Also, my dad told me, son, you can date whoever. I just don't want to see you hurt again.
Aww.
What's your thoughts on that, Francis? Let's catch people up who don't remember the story from Hanbin, where Hanbin was concerned that his father wouldn't accept him dating a black woman, right? Because Hanbin wanted to date a black woman, and Hanbin is Asian and was concerned about that. And we gave him advice in the last chat, in the last Q&A, and it's beautiful to see this update.
That warms my heart. That's sweet.
What do you feel? What's in your mind right now?
I just feel like I do believe. So, when my mom, I've told you some things about when we used to date a certain type. It's more, I truly believe most parents are more worried for their child to get hurt. And I do feel like that's probably where his father was coming from, just by this response. I think that your dad wants you to be as happy as you can be and just be with someone that's going to love you as much as you love them.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And
that's sweet.
I'm very happy to hear this update, Hanbin. And I'll be honest. So this is my true thought. And I don't know you so well, and I definitely don't know your father, but I think if you are going to bring someone to him or introduce or have someone hang out with you, you do owe it to yourself and your family to make sure it's a good person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go and mess, quote unquote, mess it up and bring someone who they expect to be to fit any concerns they have. I think that's very important.
Yeah,
I
I
personally
agree.
do. At least this the first girlfriend, or hopefully it will be one, and you'll meet the perfect person. But you got to be respectful of what your family's culture and traditions are, and do your part in making sure this is a good person for you.
Yeah.
I think your father is 100% right. As a dad, I would say the same thing. We just want to see you happy and not hurt, not sad. So respect that and make sure you're choosing someone that's going to honor you as a person first and foremost.
But two positive things that happened in your life within
It's
the last
great.
week, Hanbin. So that's great.
Thank you for that update, and keep us updated and take your time. You don't need to
Yes.
rush into a relationship. I think you taking your time is a good thing for your choice, but also to show your father that you're mature and you're not going to just rush things. I think that's super important. So I want to tell you, and I think you know this, but respect your parents. Respect where they're coming from more so, and try to live up to what they expect in terms of uh, being with a good person who's not going to hurt you. Francis Belen,
Hi, Belen.
our friend Belen from Spain, says, "Hi, TJ and Francis. The other day I read that a father has decided to take his daughter to a high school where only girls go because he doesn't want her to lose focus with her studies. What do you think about that?"
Okay. So this is, I don't want to say this is the norm in the States, but many families do this in the States. So they have girls' schools, and usually they're like a religious school. And it's girls' schools or all boys schools. I feel like you have to do what's best for your family. I'm not against that at all because I do see. I mean, we've had many high schoolers. I see how they can get distracted over the opposite sex. So I get that, but I feel like you need to do what's best for your family. If that's what you feel like is best for your family, then by all means. I don't see a problem with it.
Um,
It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to turn out like, oh, the perfect child, whether it's a boy or a girl, because we know people that went to all girls schools
yeah.
and
Well,
they're different.
I'll say it this way. I think this is a common thing in the States. It's not overly common, but it's quite common. And I think, I don't think I would do it, but I, like Francis said, completely respect families who choose to do it. I will say this, oftentimes it backfires, and girls who go to the same sex school, they can be a little bit more adventurous or a bit more fast.
Well, they
Um,
feel like they're being suppressed sometimes.
but at the same time, I think if I bet it does help them study more at school. They don't have to worry about what they look like and as much, or they don't have to care. So I think, you know to each their own, and it's
That's true,
I don't
Teresa.
have enough experience or enough details to really say that I feel they shouldn't be doing that. What does Teresa say, Francis?
People can get distracted over the same sex too. I'm
That is
just saying.
that is
Yes, you
true.
just saying, girl, and that is true.
That is true. In Almond Muscat, in private schools, there are boys and girls. Yeah. So it really, I think it's, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's, I don't know. I
I
also
just feel
don't like, I don't care for the idea of changing your surroundings to fit what you want. Or look, what's going to happen when she goes to a regular school and there's boys and girls? Is it going to cause different type of issues? I think it's always.
Well, you're preparing them. I feel like when you put them in those kind of situations to where they're with boys and girls, you're preparing them more for a normal life, I guess. But at the same time, I don't know. I just feel like you do what's right for your family
Yeah, I
and
mean,
whatever you feel is
if
best.
if there's a single sex school, which seems quite normal in England as well, if there's a single sex school right down the street from my house,
My
it's
kids are probably
it's
going.
highly respected. It's a good school. Kids are, graduate and do well. I would send my kid there. So I think there's a lot of variables we don't know about, but all things being even or equal, I probably would would prefer my kids to go to school where there's both boys and girls. That's the society we live in. That's the world we live in. And I think them being comfortable around boys or working with girls and vice versa. You don't want someone who's just been in an all boys school to graduate and think he only can work with boys, or he has no experience working with females. So
Yeah.
those are kind of things that I don't think we really are understanding when we send our kids to same-sex schools. Lydia says it's important for kids to see every gender and normalize it. That's the point. She said it a lot easier and quicker for me, but I agree, Lydia.
That's true, Lydia.
Go ahead, Francis. You can read Andrea.
I
Oh, Francis, come on.
soy fan de ustedes de Paraguay.
There you go. So Andrea is from Paraguay. Thank you for letting us know, Andrea. I got to work on the auto translation that YouTube will do. So our things will be in a different language too. Sine, by the way, has confirmed. She says the membership does accept PayPal. I looked it up on my other YouTube account that I didn't subscribe to the membership to, but I'm subscribed to the channel as a regular subscriber.
Word.
There you go, Sine.
Thanks you for that info, Sine.
Letting everyone know. Rihanna says, I got discharged from hospital today. A few days ago, I tried to kill myself. The only things that kept me fighting through was you guys and your Uncle Michael. I love you so, so much. Rihanna, we love you too. We are praying for you. We are sending you all the light and love possible.
Yes, that as a parent, that makes me really sad. I just hope you know that you're loved. You just know that you're loved, and I mean that's difficult. That's really difficult. As a parent, that's hard to. That's why my reaction was so surprised, because that's really hard to hear.
Rihanna, I would add to this that no matter, I don't know your age, but no matter what you are going through, I promise you can get through it, and you will get through it. Many of the things that I was struggling with years ago, or even recently, things that I really hype up that I think in the moment are a big deal. It could be something as simple as losing a job, or losing an opportunity, or being sick, or whatever it is,
or a hard breakup. I mean, there's so many different things.
I truly, without saying I can guarantee it, I'm very close to being able to say that, but I truly want you to know that in time, those will just become less and less important, to the point where you may even forget about it. So don't think that something that can be tripping you up right now is insurmountable or unforgettable. Life will heal you, and your body and your mind will help prepare you in a way to live the best life as you age. So please hang in there, and please utilize our community. The Dee Dee Jackson Foundation, the Family Rose, we both have Facebook groups with a great support system. But I just want you to know that you are loved, and we may not know you in a way where we know your favorite ice cream flavor or your favorite color, but just know your presence and being part of a community means something to us. So always know that.
And she's 15, my love.
Yeah. Rihanna, please. And here's the thing. This is one of those things that we adults don't understand too much. We don't know the effects social media is having on our youth. We don't know the pressures you guys are under, are dealing with. But the main thing, like I said, I want you to know is that you're a baby and you are learning. And I know you may not like hearing that you're a baby, but you are. I don't even remember, honestly, I could probably remember 2 or 3 things that happened at 15. And if I thought about it, some of the, whether it's heartbreaks or very difficult moments of my life, besides my mother passing, I don't remember anything from 15. I really don't. And that would be that's something I really want you to know, that whatever you're struggling with right now, it's not going to mean much in 15, 20 years. And you're going to grow from it. You're going to become a stronger person.
And utilize the community, because we have a lot of amazing, loving supporters. And as do you, as you can see, all their beautiful messages. So utilize the community.
We love you, Rihanna. And always reach out if you can, if you need us, or make sure you're in my Facebook group too. There's wonderful people there. There's a big support system. We're here with you.
Oh,
As Georgina says, Rihanna, join DDJF. We are there for you.
sending you a big hug though, Rihanna, and lots of love.
And what I love about that is our groups, that they how you think and what you're into and your passions and your interests align with the community. So you don't have to worry about being judged. You don't have to worry about people, talking bad about you or what you're into. That's a beautiful thing. And even if you weren't fans of my uncle and 3T and us, I would tell you, what are you into? Join that community,
Mm-hmm.
because there's power in knowing there's other like-minded people like you.
Yes.
So, like Georgina says, join these communities and just soak in the love you're going to get and the support.
Yes. Because, see, look, social media can be hard. It can be helpful, at the same time. It can be difficult and it can be helpful. So, my advice to you would be to follow people that are inspiring you, follow positivity. Be sure that you're not reading things that make you sad or make you unhappy. That's really important. Just try your best to focus on doing things that you love and that add to your happiness in life.
Fatma says it. Another great advice. She says, start a gratitude journal. I couldn't agree with this more. Thank you, Fatma, for saying this.
Yes.
Fatma says, write every day, 2 days, even 2 days, even if it's I woke up. You got this. So
that is
basically,
so true.
just write a couple of things you're grateful for.
We just had to talk about our kids about this. Just write 3 things. You can start with 2 things, but just simple things. You could be grateful for the pencil that you're writing with.
Yeah.
Simple things.
It really helps change your mentality, Rihanna. I know it doesn't seem like it can help, but if you can stay committed to it, you'll feel more upbeat. And then what I've noticed is when people stop, they start getting down again. So try to really make it a part of your daily routine. Regardless, though, know that we're here for you.
So
and Patty's right. Get outside, Rihanna.
Oh, yes.
Unplug,
Fresh
take
air.
a walk. Be safe, though, because you are 15. And I don't know where you live, but get outside. Join a group, join a walking group, run around, go to a beach. Um, Utilize nature. It can really, really help you. So thank you for that, Patty. That's another great point. P2 World with the super chat, Francis, has
Hey.
hi J and F. I like that. When will
Me
the next
too.
music video come out? And can you give us more info on the MMM project, as I really love Dream Girl Mind Games?
Me
Yeah.
too. Me
Quentin.
too, Quentin.
So here we go. First of all, thank you for the super chat, Quentin. This is Omizel actually has just finished editing and color correcting the next video. And that's one of the announcements I'm going to make in my newsletter. I will tell you it's quite soon when the next music video is coming out. In terms of exactly when, you're going to get a newsletter from me that will tell you exactly when. So, again, if you haven't, make sure to subscribe. It's www.tjjackson.com. No fee, no selling that I do. I just want you guys to register. And then what I do is I simply email you with things that are up in my world. If you want to partake in anything, great. If not, you can throw it in the trash can or whatever you want to do. Well, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do that. But you know what I mean. But there you go. It's www.tjjackson.com. And then Quentin also wanted to know about the MMM project. Quentin, we're doing it. We're doing a short film. That's still the plan. I'm just trying to find on the timeline when the best time to release it. So me and Omizo are still talking about locations and ideas.
A lot of good songs.
As COVID starts kind of moving, or I should say, as the world starts moving away from COVID and restrictions get lifted, it does help, because one of our visions is to do it in Hawaii. But Hawaii is one of the strictest states, understandably, because of their travel and their reliance on travel. It's one of the states that's the most restrictive when it comes to COVID. So, like my shows, I wanted to postpone, and like the video, I wanted to postpone until I know for sure we're not going to run into any COVID issues. Let's see. We have another super chat from Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Carol's also a super member. Thank you for being a member, Carol. Carol says, hi, TJ and Fran. What was the best advice that your Uncle Michael gave you about parenting that did you take for life? I love you and please come to Brazil.
Ooh.
I think the best advice he gave to me, at least about parenting, is to travel is to not let them be entitled and privileged, and to respect everyone.
He
To
did a great job with the three.
Yeah,
Yep.
to make sure they're appreciative, and to read. He was big into reading and to making sure um, you read with the kids, and to make sure you could try to pass along the love of reading to your kids. So that's something I always try to push on to not only my kids, but my cousins and other of my cousins. I try to give a gift during the holidays to the youngsters around me, or the youngsters, um, kids, cousins. I try to give them a book
You know
each and
who
every
looks
year.
forward to those?
Who looks forward to it?
Lexi.
There you
She's
go.
like, Mom, do you know what book we're getting this year? I'm
I,
like, nope, I don't know yet.
there's going to be a book that's coming. I already have. It's one of two books. There's a couple of great books, but that's my gift to my kids and cousins, and that's something I got from my uncle about many years ago. When I was 14 years old, he taught me the love of reading, and that changed my life. And he was always big about making sure, our kids were reading. So that's what I would say.
Yeah.
This is Brielle.
Brielle.
Hi, TJ, and beautiful Francis. I have a
Hmm.
question. I always get bullied at school, and I have to go back to school. Francis, what advice are you going to give to Brielle?
I wonder how old Brielle is. That's hard. JoJo was getting bullied, but she was in not even kindergarten yet. Was it kindergarten? No, it wasn't
She
kindergarten.
was in kindergarten.
It was Journeys, I think. Was it? I don't remember, but it was when she was about 4 or 5 years old. And we just basically try to tell her to be assertive, things like that. Well, JoJo is very sweet and nurturing and kind. And so she didn't know how to do that. So basically, we put her in karate, and that really helped her get her confidence and basically be able to tell that person to leave her alone.
Mm.
So, my advice would be you need to tell an adult. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but I would start with telling your parents, and then maybe your parents can let the school know. I would not, it makes me sad to know that you're being bullied and that anyone gets bullied because I think it's so unnecessary. But what I also try to tell the kids as well is that usually the person that's bullying has went through something in their life that's made them this way.
Mm-hmm.
And we can also show kindness and love to them as well because we don't know what they're going through at home,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't know what has made them decide to be this way. But I would start with speaking to someone about it for sure.
I think I know it looks like I'm gonna show a book, and I may show a book because I saw a question. But my advice would be, Francis, can you remember this page number 123?
Yep.
Okay, 123. My advice it would also be to consider taking some type of jiu-jitsu or martial arts class. They help you prepare you, not to really fight, but to be more confident in how you present yourself, and to sometimes there's certain things you can do that can get a bully to stop. And I hate to say that because I don't want you to get into a fight.
No.
But sometimes the way you handle yourself and certain things you can say and do that you can learn from a martial arts class can end that. And I'll tell you this, I'm not one who fights. I'm not a fighter. As my uncle said, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I took jiu-jitsu for a couple years, and that gave me more confidence in myself and how to protect myself if needed than anything I've ever done by a long shot. And it really changed the way I saw threats, even physical threats. So and again, I've never had to use it, but I've always felt like I was able to put myself in a position where I could protect myself and my family if something happened. And that's thanks to a mixed martial arts class. So
Yeah.
I would encourage that too, Brielle. I think everything Francis said is correct, and I would suggest the same thing. But on top of that, I would look into it.
The
And
school needs to know for sure that that's happening.
And the reason why I say is because maybe it doesn't do anything for this incident, but going forward, there may be something that you change within yourself that is going to give you confidence, and forget about the bullying. It's going to help you in other ways in life.
Yes.
So
later down the road, it's going to help you.
Even if it's once a week, twice a week, just any type of, karate, kickboxing, um, jiu-jitsu.
I had my brother, so I didn't have to do
Yeah,
any
some of
of
that
that.
really helps. Don't think it's
Yeah.
just for fighting, and some of it will really, especially jiu-jitsu. There's some great stuff for how to protect yourself from bullies
Yeah.
and attacks, because you got to be mindful of that. Um, Simmer says, so true. I did Shalom as a kid. I don't even know what
I
Shalom
haven't
is,
heard of that.
but can you please let us know, Simmer
Yeah.
Music, what
I,
that is? Because that seems very interesting. But it's true. It helps your mindset and prepares you in a way that I think can can keep bullies away. You know, really. And it's not your responsibility. It's an issue with the bully, that's for sure.
yeah.
But it's just healthy, and it's good for you to have that extra layer of confidence and to discover it that you may not even know is out there.
Is
Like I said,
someone
it did
knocking?
it to me. No one's knocking at it.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
It did it for me. It really changed the way I handled and saw life. And I didn't go because I was getting bullied. I just went because my son and younger cousin was going, and it helped. It helped a lot.
I think it's important. Yeah.
Emmy says, I've been bullied when I was a teenager. I had no friends. I was alone. But you know what? Now I'm loved. I have friends and a job I love. Listening to Michael and 3T helped me a lot at these times. It's
Oh,
beautiful.
Emmy, that's so sweet. That's
That's really
wonderful.
cool.
I do feel like music is very powerful in that.
Yeah. Yeah. And Emmy, really, thank you for sharing that. Um, whether it's Brielle or others that are listening, um, it's these kind of comments that are so powerful and can help others out there. So thank you. Simmer says, yes, it's Shaolin Kempo. You learn to defend yourself. See, there's a lot of great fighting
I
styles.
think it's so important.
Yes, Fatma says it's like Kung Fu. It's just a lot of cool fighting styles out there. And sometimes I shouldn't even say fighting, because sometimes that scares people into thinking I'm encouraging fighting. I'm not. It's just they can encourage you how to defend yourself, and certain things you can do, and your mannerism and the way you're presenting yourself, can speak a different language to bullies. Because oftentimes they just get all high off of feeling big and macho.
It's so awful.
And if you can counteract that by simply walking in a way and doing things, it makes a difference. And I don't really suggest you just doing that. I suggest you understanding. It's hard to explain, but it's like an inner thing that just happens once you get some of these classes under your belt.
And the problem is that bullies, they get their targets, they see their targets, and then they go in. But I feel like when you're confident and you're not going to allow them to mess with you, then they kind of back off. But once you're assertive and stand up for yourself,
And a perfect example is JoJo. She
yeah,
did karate. That was the biggest turning point. It wasn't stuff we said. It wasn't necessarily stuff the school said this to this bully. It was an encounter that eventually Joe showed that she had had enough.
the girls spit on her.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
in a kindergarten way, JoJo put an end to it.
Yep.
And that was a beautiful thing as a parent, because it didn't take an outside resource to stop it. It was something she did, and now she has that skill. And I could tell you, fast forward 6 years, JoJo's very confident. You
I
cannot.
think it helped her in so many different
She
ways.
doesn't care what other people think. She doesn't care about a lot of things. And I think it was a lot of that martial arts class. Again, she never got in a fight. She never had to utilize it, but it gave her this strong sense of feeling powerful that is hard to get otherwise.
Yeah.
Donna says Theo's being badly bullied at school. Your JoJo gave him the best advice in London. Because of her lovely words, he's positive to start school next week.
Oh, that's great.
I would love to know what she said, Donna. If you think it's worthy of sharing, I would love to know. But that's beautiful to hear, and it's
really
true.
is.
I try telling them to stop. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But thank you, handsome TJ and beautiful Francis.
Thank you, Brielle.
You are welcome, Brielle. And again, you have a community here that supports you and loves you. Very important that you know that.
Absolutely.
Let's see what else we have. Carmi Francis with a beautiful message.
Hi, Carmi.
Go ahead, Francis. You can read Carmi's.
TJ and Francis, thank you for the love and care you give to others. Love your talks that you have. You guys are such an inspiration to all of us. You guys are an amazing power couple. Love you guys. Aw, Carmi, that's so sweet. We love you more. That is what we try to do. I mean, honestly, that's how we try to really live our lives. We tease each other back and forth, but TJ and I, like, it's just the love that we want our kids to see, the positivity that we want our kids to see is truly important, and that's how we try to live our lives.
I just think we've mentioned this, that the world can use more support, love, and positivity, and we just want to do our part. It's that simple. Thank you so much, Carmi, for the encouragement and the beautiful words. And we will just try to continue to share love and positivity to anyone who's watching.
Yeah.
Lilu Lay Creative says, "Hi guys, when will we get the ANTR our tour footage as vlogs? For Lynn's birthday, we got few months as nights. We're just waiting for the good moment. By the way, we're happy that you got to see our dance. TJ,
Aw.
love you. Yes, I love watching you all dance. So please continue to dance, whether it's my music or others. Please just dance. It's beautiful and it's really sweet to see." I think we're about a month away from going into our summer trip from this year. We only have a couple to finish for the last trip, and then there's a couple of vlogs that we have to do, that we have to share, that are non-tour or non travel vlogs, I should say, that are going to come out. So I would say in 2 months. That would be my guess, is when the ANTR tour footage would be as vlogs. If you're wondering when the ANTR DVD, because I feel like that's the next question, that we're shooting for this November, late November,
Let's
December.
hope so.
Let's see though. Let's see. Okay, Clarice says my daughter's moving to Africa in September. They have 4 kids and will come here 4 months. Then they're 8. I think. See, and
Wow.
I think this is great. I love
That
the
is so
idea
cool.
of traveling and experiencing different cultures, and the fact they have 4 kids. That tells me that they're different age groups, so that could be a really cool thing.
That's cool.
Let's see what else. This is from Vicky. Vicky says, "Hey TJ and Francis, did you ever deal with chronic depression?"
Oh man. After I had Rio, it was pretty difficult. I would say it took me a couple of years. I started to feel better after a year and a half, but I don't even really feel like I confided in TJ because I don't know. It was a difficult time. I just felt like there was a cloud over me. But what I try to do every day is really focus on what I'm grateful for and just things that made me happy. And that really helped tremendously. So was it chronic? I think for if it was a year and a half, probably. But I just feel like my hormones were still balancing themselves out.
Hmm.
Really.
I haven't had to deal with chronic depression. I think why I am lucky that I haven't is because I've had a really strong supporter in Francis,
Mm,
who's lifted me up when I've needed it and helped me change my mentality if I get into a bad one. And that's very important. And I'm realizing as I've gotten older the importance of having someone that can support you and your needs, and not just, also I should say, mental needs. And that's a real thing. I think oftentimes when we're in a relationship or even with strong friendships, we don't respect or spend enough time really focusing on the mentality of the person we love. It's a powerful thing. We shouldn't have to wait for an action or something that happens in life to show how they're doing mentally. I think with loved ones, you should be checking on them all the time as much
for
as
sure.
possible. So that's something that we've been fortunate enough to be able to do for each other. At least I could say she's definitely done that for me. Um, but thank you so much for this question, Vicky,
No,
because
yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of people struggle with it.
I think it's an important one.
Yeah. And then when we did, you asked, you're like, why didn't you ever tell me? Because I just felt like I could get through it on my own. And then I had my best friend too. And to be honest, honey, you had so much going on,
Yeah.
a lot going on.
But that doesn't make me feel good feeling that.
I know, but that was just not something I wanted to put on your plate, to be honest. But you
Um,
also, with your love, I feel like you helped me through it. I knew I would be okay. I also had a good support system
hmm.
as well.
Okay, I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna try to do this real quick.
Go.
You know what I'm trying to do.
Yep.
All right, let's see if this works. It's nighttime and we're just moving around hotel lights to try to light it up.
Oh, it
This is
was
better, I
funny
think.
earlier.
Okay, so Donna ask, when your younger children have families of their own, how available will you be for grandchildren? Will you be wanting more one-on-one time together, or will the kids be able to take advantage of free childcare?
Oh, Donna, that's such a good question.
What do you think, Francis?
You know, we talk about this often, and it's funny because I was just telling Lexi's like, "Where are you guys going again?" And so I was like, "Girl, we're out of here." And then I was like, "You just don't know when the last one's out of the house, you're not gonna be able to find us." And Lexi's like, "Mama, you know, once we all have our kids, you're gonna be right there with us." So I do feel like we want to travel more and probably stay gone longer. But if my kids need me, my grandbabies need me, I'm going to be there for sure. They
Yeah.
just have to, you know, and I know, like, look, we need to take the time for ourselves too. But I also feel like we've had kids. I know I have my whole life.
I think we're going to be very hands-on.
Yeah.
I think being a grandparent is something I'm very excited for. And I
You're
think
going to be amazing.
and I think it's one of the highlights of life. I really do. The fact that, I love kids. I love to spoil kids. I love to spend time with them. So to be able to have a grandchild is going to be a beautiful thing. I'm
Yeah.
very excited for it.
Yeah. And I don't get to see my others as much as I'd like. But I'm excited for that next phase where like they're going to call us and say we're going out of town for a week. I hope that I can be there for them to be able to let them, have that experience. Because I have it in my mom, and I think it's beautiful. When we call my mom, she's like, "Sure, no problem," and she just comes. It's beautiful. We're very grateful for that.
Michael Jackson fan says, "Hello, TJ and Franny. What advice would you give someone who wants to get a tattoo, but their parents are too controlling?"
Ooh, MJ fan.
Okay, here's my advice.
You better be honest with this one too.
What does that mean?
Just
Are you telling me?
Yes,
Oh,
what
I
your
am going to
true
be honest.
feelings are.
I think you should be waiting. I think you should be waiting till 25. I think you're 18 or 19. I strongly think you need to wait. And I tell this to my kids. I try to encourage anyone, my cousins, my kids, to wait till 25.
Because what's the reason behind that though?
Because your mind is still changing and developing. And even if, let's just say you love Mickey Mouse, you will always
and I still love Mickey Mouse.
You will always love Mickey Mouse. I'm not saying, you're 18, 19, you may not like Mickey Mouse 30. I understand there's some figures you're going to always love and cherish, and I respect that. And even sayings and even things or places. But your way of showing that love can change in time. And not only that, let's just say you still want to get a tattoo. Your placement of that tattoo may change. The size of it may change. What you may want to write, the font choice that you would make at 18 may be not the one. I can pretty much guarantee you it wouldn't be the one you would make at 25.
Usually when you get something at 18.
19.
Okay, but when you get something 18, 19, you regret it later in life.
I'm going to say this. I know many people who've gotten tattoos at 18, 19. And truthfully, not one has
been like, I still love this tattoo. It's
everyone
great.
has regretted.
They're like, I'm thinking about getting it removed.
Something about it, and I just think, yeah.
I truly believe if you're asking for our advice, this is what we tell our kids. If you want to do it, okay, but please wait until you're 25.
And that's not that far away.
Nope.
It may seem far away.
It's not far. I promise you, it's not far away.
So
even Royal, like we were talking about that, and I don't know how tattoos came up, and he was like, "Yeah, I think if I still want to get this when I'm 25, I'm gonna get it." I just appreciate that he's taking our advice and waiting.
Yeah.
He could have done it. He's an adult. But he's taking our advice, and out of respect, he's trying to wait until he's 25.
I love that. I think that's a cool thing, and it's a respectful thing. So, Michael Jackson fan, I don't know your parents. I don't know how controlling they are, but I think it's maybe one of those things where they're saying something similar to us or trying to protect you.
Because they probably know.
And it may be you're interpreting as controlling, but they're just trying to protect you from regret. And that's one of those things where oftentimes kids do regret when they do it. So again, what our rule is 25, what we try. Obviously, you're an adult. My kids, some of them are adults. They could do whatever they want. But for those that are under 25, I think you should be waiting till then. My opinion.
Yes.
Patty wants to know: do either one of you have tattoos? That answer is no.
Nope.
I've never wanted tattoos. I never desired to have them. But
I've
that
thought
answer is
about
no.
it
See,
later. Never when I was younger. Never ever. Like
yeah.
in the probably the last 5 years, getting like because I love Mickey Mouse. I thought about doing a tiny little Mickey face, but I'm not going to because then I can't tell my kids not to do it.
Well, and Patty says I regret my first tattoo, and here's the thing: when Patty says, first of all, thank you for sharing that, Patty. But when Patty says that, don't just think that she regrets what it says or what it stands for. It could be something as simple as where it's placed or the
Mm-hmm.
size or the color of it. There's a lot of things that can go when it comes to regretting a tattoo. So my advice is to take your time. Ravine says, "Yep. Typically, the brain finishes developing at 25." Also, I can
Could be
see
Raven too.
Raven. What did I say?
Ravine.
It's most likely Raven.
We'll see. I don't know.
Raven, I'm sorry if it's Raven. I'm gonna guess it's
But
Raven.
Ravine's kind of cool too. So
But there would be an E, I think. So, anyways, typically the brain finishes developing at 25. Also, I can see TJ being a great grandfather. It's something that
you got to do some yoga then if you're going to keep
I
up with the
know, I
grandbabies
know, I know.
because
Well,
your flexibility is
it's not
slim
worship.
to none.
I first of all, and I should say this: like the time I get with Luna, I love.
I
You
know.
know, she's the sweetest baby I think maybe I've ever seen, truthfully.
Yeah.
And I love that time,
Yeah.
and just to be able to spend more and more time with grandbabies is something that I'm very, very looking forward to. There you go. Let's see what else we have. Fatima says, "Hi, beautiful couple. What book are you reading right now? Love you." So I have a couple. I'm reading a
You're gonna lift.
Kindle.
You want me to lift it up?
Yeah, and then I'm using one book that I bring with me pretty much everywhere I go. Um, and that's this one, Influence. It's by Robert Cialdini. I know I'm messing that up, but The Psychology of Persuasion. It
Ooh.
sounds pretty like
Yeah. It seems a little
dark,
sneaky. Yeah.
sneaky, manipulative. It's not. It's just
I
about,
gotta watch you.
you know what it is? It's kind of like the 48 Laws of Power. I'm into books where it teaches you about that stuff so it doesn't happen to me. You know?
You never
It's
use
true.
it. You
I
never use
don't.
it on me.
No.
Never.
There's no purpose to. No, it's a lot of it's like selling stuff. Like one of the main stories in there, one of the big stories I got is on Gucci, and how you know how like you could find Gucci purses and Gucci jewelry, yeah, like on the street corners in big cities like in France. And when that was happening with other designers, they freaked out about it. They would try to stop it. You know, they felt it was cutting into their profits.
Mm-hmm.
But Gucci, she felt it was a cool thing, and she let it happen, and it helped market her company. Those kind of thing, and her psychology and thinking around it was, it's like free marketing, and it just brings it more into the forefront of the
That's
society.
cool.
So it's just those kind of things, and the science behind it. That's fascinating to me. So it's not manipulative or evil. It's more business related, I
And you're
think.
reading *Sapiens* as well?
And *Sapiens*, that's a great book. It's very interesting as well. Very, very interesting. So those are the two books that I'm currently at least spending most times in. And *Life of Stoics* by Ryan Holiday. It's a good book too.
We're
Um,
also reading a marriage book as
yes, we
well.
are.
Yes.
Yes, we are. Did you want to share another book or?
No, because
Okay.
I don't even know the name of it. I just found it in Calabasas and started reading it.
Francis Brandon, who's a super member,
Hey, Brandon.
with the super chat. Thank you so much, Brandon. Very, very nice of you. Brandon says, "Hey, TJ and Francis, much, much, much love as always. I'm just really hoping that you guys come to Texas for some shows soon. I would really love to see it in person and meet the both of you. Truly, you guys are my inspiration."
Oh, that's so sweet, Brandon.
That's
Thank
cool,
you for
Brandon.
that.
Brandon, what city in Texas? Because I'm in this early stages of planning 2023, and doing some shows in the States is likely. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do multiple shows in Texas.
You got to do one, at least one in Dallas. You have to, honey.
I get a lot of love in Houston, though.
Well, they're going to have to come to Dallas.
I don't know, Brandon. Let us know what you're thinking. So, by the way, that water she's drinking, no bueno. It's not. It tastes like soap in there.
Sourcey?
I'm not a fan of it. It's probably some expensive
Baby,
brand.
you know what it is? It's probably minerals, and its minerals are good for
Do
your
you
body.
taste soap in there?
No, I know what
I
you're
swear.
saying, but it's like Arrowhead back home.
Let me taste.
That's what it is. It's probably has minerals. It's probably more pure water.
Mm,
Oh,
this is
Dolores.
Sourcey, by the way. Not bad. It's in Netherlands. Oh, it's Netherlands. We brought it from the Netherlands. Maybe I just got a bad one.
It's not
Because
bad.
that one wasn't bad.
No.
But I've been rocking Volvic. Am I saying that right? Wrong?
Volvic or Volvic? Volvic.
Actually, that Sourcey's better than this one right now. So forget everything I said.
So yes, the answer to that, I would love to make sure TJ goes to Texas because my people would love it as well. Yes, they would. They would probably take up more than half the space.
But we'll see. Emmanuel with the super chat. What's going on, Emmanuel? Emmanuel says, hi, TJ and wife. I hope y'all enjoy you guys' time together. I've been out sick with my wife with COVID-19.
Oh, man.
We've had that twice, Emmanuel. I hope you guys are doing okay. Please take your time in healing.
Yes,
Make
lots
sure
of fluids.
you drink your fluids and water. Any other advice, Francis, that helped us?
I think we took vitamin D3 is what was recommended. I don't know about now though, because they were trying to figure out, they were just trying to see what worked when we first got it as well. But we were told to lots of fluid and vitamin D3.
And I will say this, Emmanuel, it took me some time to shake some symptoms. I think they call them long-term or long COVID symptoms. You may get those, but at least I think it's slowly diminishing. So don't get discouraged if you feel like your life is now forever changed. I used to think that occasionally with some COVID long-term issues, but I feel like I'm slowly getting back to my old self. So just stay positive. And like Franny said, keep drinking that water.
Yes.
Sine with the super chat.
Sine.
Sine says, hey, September 9th and 24th is getting closer. I would like to remind the people to subscribe to your new newsletter for both Zoom and SongLink. Yes.
Check out Sine.
Sine knows her stuff. So yes, we're getting there's a lot of stuff that's coming around the corner. So I should say September is going to be a pretty busy month for me and for you all who follow my music. There's a lot of cool stuff that are coming in September. And one more thing I should add. I should say this because, well, I'll say it in my newsletter, I think. I'll just say it here. I've started a membership on Instagram, and I'm scheduled to go to Nashville in September 16th, 17th, 18th, somewhere in there. And I plan on there going live a couple times in my studio sessions. So if you want to see a song being developed, consider subscribing to my Instagram membership. I'm not going to do all that stuff on the family rules. It has nothing to do with the family rules. I like to keep my music and my art stuff separate. Of course, occasionally it will slide in here if it involves the whole family.
But mine as well, because it's part of you too.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I want to be respectful of those who follow me for my music, to just enjoy me as my music and not care about my family stuff, and vice versa. If you just want more of the personal family, this kind of stuff, then just be here and you don't have to worry about my music. So
I feel like it's hard to separate the two though. For supporters.
I don't want to separate it completely,
yeah.
But I feel there should be. It's like you. If you were to do your own thing with your fitness shouldn't be a weekly thing on this type of a channel.
But it would slip in.
It would slip in occasionally, like we did the healthy habits. We're both into healthy.
Because am I really going to do Q&As by myself? I don't know if I could do that.
If you did fitness ones, yeah, you should. I mean, I'll help you out, but I don't know.
You'll help me out.
I think it should be on its own wavelength, but there we go. Clements with the super chat, and of course, the super member. Clement says, "Hello, my favorite couple. I had an amazing weekend with you all. I wish so much to see you all again soon. Love you both."
Oh, I love you too, Clements. Look, it looks like y'all had a blast.
It's beautiful.
I loved watching your videos. You saw those, right, honey? Did you see the ones?
I haven't. I've heard and saw you watching one on the train,
And I
but
was
I
like,
haven't
these
seen it
girls are
myself.
so cute. So good job on that choreography, guys. That
I
was cool.
I love the fact that you all had a good time. I've seen some of you mention it and DM me that you had a great time, and that's music to my ears. I love performing, I really do, but at the same time, being able to be part of a reason for you guys to travel and to experience life and meet each other and enjoy each other's company is a really
It's
cool
pretty
thing.
cute. It's pretty cute. And some of them snuck back there. Did you saw that, TJ?
What do you mean? Oh
Some of them
yeah.
snuck backstage, you little sneaky girls.
Hey, if you can do it, do it.
I know, right?
Go.
I was like, you better get over there before you're told
Um,
not to.
that's what she said. It's true.
That's what I said. I was like, don't, you better go talk to TJ.
Clements, it was wonderful seeing you, and we love
Yeah,
you too.
that was cool.
Quentin says, TJ or Jay, thank you for your voice note, and I just bought the book you recommended. Oh, cool. P.S. Franny, when you should also have your own channel, maybe about food.
It would probably be about food and fitness because I think it's, look,
They go hand in hand?
yeah, well, growing up, I didn't really, no one taught me how to eat healthy. I had to teach myself. I had to do my own research. And so I feel like food and fitness go hand in hand. So yeah, good idea, Quentin.
You should do it, Franny J. Kinga.
Hey, Kinga.
What's going on, Kinga? Kinga has a super chat. You want to read it, Francis?
You okay?
Yeah, I'm just itching.
Okay.
I got bit up
These
today,
bugs
guys.
love him, guys.
I'm itching my legs.
Okay. Hello, family. Just wanted to say that I love you so much. I wish you a great continuation of the journey and please keep this smile always. P.S. Will you ever visit Poland?
Yes.
I think so.
For sure.
I think so.
I think we're still several years away, Kingdom, but it will happen. I honestly want to look. There was where was it? First of all, I didn't know Amazon had book clubs. So I was looking into that. I was like, oh, that's a cool thing. Maybe we could do a book club with a community of mine. Didn't know if it was DDJF or the Family Rules one or
We could do
from
like,
my Facebook group, but
yeah, there's so many you can
Amazon
do.
has a cool little community thing that I'm going to start looking into. Anyways, one of the book clubs I was looking at to learn about it, there was a book from a black female who visited, it said all 180 something countries. I thought there were more than that.
Wow.
But she was the first black woman to visit all these countries, or all the countries.
Amazing.
And I remember asking Francis, do you want to try to do that? Should we try to visit each and every country?
Amazing.
And I don't know if we're going to hit every country. There's some countries we may not go to, but we want to go to a lot of them. And Poland would definitely be one of those. So
that would be cool.
in time. I don't know when, but in time it's going to happen.
And Kinga, we love you so much too.
Alexandra just became a YouTube member. Welcome to the family, rulers, and the clan. Thanks, Alexandra. We'll see you in there. MJ Fan says, TJ and Franny, important question. Do you pour milk then cereal or cereal then milk? This is an important question. I like it.
Wow. I did not know that people pour the milk and then the cereal. I've never heard of that. I always pour the cereal first.
I always do cereal first.
And then the milk. But let me tell you something. I think, so first of all, for me, cereal.
What does everyone else do? Is this a European versus American thing? I definitely do cereal then milk.
For me, cereal is more like a dessert. Like, yeah, we didn't have it really as kids too much. It was more for the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't eat it anymore because it hurts my stomach. And I'm very sad about that because I love me some Frosted Flakes and Rice Krispies. Those are my two favorites.
Really? Mm-hmm. Frosted Flakes are good. There's a lot of them.
Now, Rice Krispies has this new one that's out sometimes called Frosted Krispies.
Mm-hmm.
Those are so good.
Those are good too?
Yeah.
So there we go. We answered the question. We'll, throughout the rest of this live Q&A, answer or put up what other people do.
So we are pour cereal then milk kind of people. TJ will pour
cereal then milk.
Yeah.
Cereal then milk. That's the answer. Francis.
Yeah.
Okay. D's Tiny Kitchen says cereal first. Yeah.
Yeah. Cereal first.
That's what we do. Sandy has a very important message. Sandy says depression is too heavy for one person to carry. Tell somebody.
I agree.
Sandy, this is great. Great message, and thank you for coming back to this. So for anyone who's experiencing that depression, please tell someone.
It does help. I spoke to my best friend almost every single day. Um, yeah, I think it was the move combined with the pregnancy. It was just a lot, but look, I got through it, and I feel so blessed. And never was I like had like really bad thoughts. I just felt very sad inside, and I'm not a sad person.
Um, Francis,
Yeah.
Donna is referring to what Jojo told Theo,
Okay.
who's being bullied. And she told him that people are jealous of him and his cool hair and that he shouldn't try to be different to who he is. She told him it's not his fault. That's the problem was with them.
Wow. Check out JoJo. So she has been listening.
Cool. JoJo's a smart
She's
girl.
amazing.
JoJo.
That's sweet.
We
And
were talking about that though, how JoJo is one of our kids who respects elders and their voice and their what they say.
yeah.
She has an it's such a great thing for kids to have, and I'm very happy JoJo shows that sign. She really wants to respect adults and what they went through, and it seems what I'm trying to say is it seems like the words of adults has more weight.
She respects the wisdom. I think that's what it is. Yeah.
It's really cool. So when we say things to JoJo, she digests it in a different way. So it's very cool. Sharon with the super chat. Sharon says, "Are your bros having holidays somewhere too, TJ?" Sharon, I don't know if they are back home. I do know that they both went back home on Sunday, the day after our show. And this is kind of my first time staying around, and it's going to be the new way I do things. My brothers just flew in just for the show and went right back home to their respective homes. And
you almost did too.
I almost did too, but I'm trying not to do that. If I'm gonna fly all the way, across to a different continent, I'm gonna try to enjoy a couple days to explore and to learn. So, I think next time though, I think they maybe not, maybe they don't care, but I don't know. I think next time I feel like they're going to. The Movie Raider with the super chat says, "Hello guys, today is 35th anniversary of Bad by Uncle Michael. I did not know that. How would you describe the album's impact to people like me who weren't alive back then?" Wow. I actually remember going to get Bad from the CD store.
How old were you?
I think it was 87, like 9.
Wow.
And
so you were not that old.
No. Our uncle would send us a box of like CDs, but we would also
go support.
We would go support.
That's
so
sweet.
my mother,
that was your mom, huh?
I remember from school, we went to school, and then on the way home there was a Tower Records in Sherman Oaks on Ventura Boulevard. And we went there, and there was this whole, so cool now that I think about it, but there was a whole like section for my uncle's CD, and there was a cutout of him and probably the Bad cutout, and there's just a whole thing. The store was playing the album, and we bought a couple of copies to support. But it's funny because looking back, I felt like I didn't realize that's something that was happening around the world. You just feel like, oh, that's because we're from this city, so they're going to do a cutout of him. But to know that it was happening like that around the world is pretty cool.
I love that your mom did that, though, because I feel like she knew what that was doing for you.
Well, it worked. My mom was like that. Yeah. But she was very supportive of my family and wanted to support. And
yeah, your grandma always says that.
Laying back in his tenderness with the super chat says, MJ would have been an amazing grandfather. You two would be great. Can't wait to see you at Thriller Nights. I've got gifts to give you. Love you both.
Love you too,
We will
Andy.
see you there, Andy. And for those, I had heard that this weekend, maybe Monday, is the last day to buy tickets. So if you are wanting to go to Thriller Nights, make sure you check out Heal LA and Dee Dee Jackson Foundation.
It is for charity.
We both posted information about that night and how to get tickets. It is a pretty penny to buy a ticket, but it is going to charity, and they're limited spots. So check it out if that's something you want to do. Okay, what else? It is Raven. You are correct, Franny. It's Raven spelled with an I. Very cool. Great name. Love it.
Yeah.
Franny, you want to read this one?
Simone, right?
Yep.
TJ, how did you like the festival when you went back last Saturday? I'm so curious. Franny, glad you like the earrings. Love always. Yes, Simone, I love the earrings and thank you for those. And yeah, you did go back, which is something
Oh
you
yeah.
probably wouldn't have done before.
I wouldn't have done that
Yeah.
before. So at first,
We got a new TJ, y'all,
when you read it, I thought like going back and doing the show again. But
to the festival.
we're
Babe.
talking about at night. I actually, after our performance, we went back to the festival and walked through it. It was interesting.
It was cool.
It was cool though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I vlogged some of it, so again, you're gonna see some of it. And what we decided to do is we're gonna do mini vlogs of each city we're going to and put it in for our members for our nights. And eventually there'll be bigger vlogs with all the bigger stuff edited, but for most of the footage you're just going to be able to see as a night. And this is one that you'll see in a couple weeks, us at the in the festival, walking in and experimenting. My very first time at a festival. Your first time, Franny?
My first time too. Yep.
Completely different, kind of what I would have thought it would be like. But what was amazing to me was how much money these festivals are making. Because there's thousands of people and there's drinks and so much beverages and
food.
They're making money, y'all. But what's cool is everyone's having a good time.
Oh, yes.
Everyone's being free. It's like, after working all week and being rolled up in a tight ball, you're able to just be loose and be comfortable, and it seemed quite safe. I'm sure there's ones that aren't, but it seemed safe and it seemed very joyous, and that was very cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, Francis, Andy with another super chat says, TJ, you'll be so proud of me. For the first time, I didn't engage MJ haters who comment on my content. I blocked and move on. Yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. To be honest, like I don't even give them the time of day. Like Dee Dee was telling me something. I think we spoke about this, but how someone was talking badly about her. I said, Dee Dee, my love, she hasn't even earned your thoughts. This girl should mean nothing especially if she's speaking in an ill way towards you. She hasn't earned your thoughts, so don't even give them. Just don't do it.
I love it. And you know what? You're gonna realize it feels lighter. You feel better. Don't just let them be in their hate.
Yeah, because you're gonna get people who love you and get people who just dislike you.
Don't let them drag you down. You keep the love, positivity, and the joy. That's my approach, and it's been the healthiest and best for me.
Yep.
So well done, though.
Don't
Andy.
let anyone dim your shine.
Chloe says, hi, TJ and Francis from the UK. Earlier this morning, I moved to Toronto. Wow. I have my own apartment. Also, I work here tomorrow. Wow. A lot of change going on in your life, Chloe. I'm going to start graduate school, but I'm scared to fail. What do I do?
Oh, Chloe. First of all, Dee Dee would be so envious of you because she really, really wants to at least visit Toronto. She would love to move there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give to her being scared to fail?
You know what? For the best thing you can do for yourself and your mind is to feed it good thoughts. So to be honest, I feel like you should just take that out. Just say, I'm going to do great. I'm going to learn from this. And if I fail, it's part of the journey. It's okay because failure is part of success. We all know that. Nothing is perfect in life. But for me, I would just learn from this, enjoy it. Because who knows, you may be there for, a little bit of time. You may end up staying, who knows, but enjoy it, take it in, but be in the moment, but also feed your mind good, healthy thoughts.
Chloe, this is my take on it. I think you're blessed. I think the fact that you're able to move from one country to another and start work and have your own place, you should feel very blessed. I think you're going to do just fine in graduate school. You seem you wanting to do well. That's more than 90% of it. And if you fail a test or screw something up, that's, like Francis said, is how you're going to learn. Oftentimes, I don't know who I was telling this to, but I think it was one of the kids that oftentimes when you lose is how you learn and how you grow. When you win, you get a false sense of control and a false sense of being better than what you are, whether it's sports or anything in life. And sometimes, I think humility is an incredibly important thing that we all need and can use more of, and sometimes we forget that. So think of it from a different way, that if you do fail at anything, it's an opportunity to ground you and for you to respect life and the challenge of life, but to also grow from it.
And not to give up, because look, when we're younger and we're first learning to ride a bike, you fall off how many times before you finally get it? It's the same thing in life. Just get back up and keep it pushing.
Love it. Okay, we have Claire, who says it's crazy how different countries react to topless women. We were talking about topless women earlier. Just like when mothers breastfeed in public. I love to see it because I did it too. When your baby needs feeding, they need feeding.
That's right, Claire. I agree.
What's your thoughts on that, Frances?
You know, I was so annoyed when people were complaining about mothers should cover up, blah, blah, blah. That is crazy to me. You should be able to do that.
Who was saying that? Is that back in the States?
Yes, it was back in the States, of course. But for me, I always had a cover up. I don't think that it's necessary. I just always did. I didn't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. But I feel like you're right. When the baby needs to eat, they need to eat, and it shouldn't matter who's around.
I completely agree. I think anyone, especially being out here in Europe, anyone who has an issue with breastfeeding, they are not with it. They are a little lost. They need to travel more.
Yes.
Let me just say that.
Yes.
And I think I think, Claire, you're here in Europe, but I think it's more in the States where we have more of an issue about breastfeeding. It's part of life, y'all. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a very beautiful thing that we in our society have messed up. So I hope one day we go back to, and again, it's a full circle with what I was trying to say earlier. The human body is a beautiful thing, and we should be respecting women. I truly believe that more, and not give them, or not make this insecurity or make it this thing. We messed that one up.
Yeah, I
big
agree.
Time. Pascal says hello from Belgium.
Hey,
what's going on, Pascal? Okay, I think it's time, Franny J.
I know, because you have your show coming up.
We have our show, and as Georgina says, TJ, soon as DGF, don't be late. Love you for life.
And Georgina, you got this, girl. Sunday's going to be here before you know it.
Sunday? What's Sunday, babe?
Because Matthew comes back.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Look at Franny J. Is that hard, Frances, being away from the kids?
I for sure, but I never had to do it for long, so I wouldn't know what that feels like.
Pat, but we were talking about nudity and life, and Patty says it right. They can listen to WAP, but afraid of a nude nip. Shake my head.
Patty, I am with you.
I think we should end it there. Patty. I think Patty ends it the way it needs to be end. All right, you guys, we are signing off. I got to get going to DDJF. I love you all. We love you all.
Yes, we
Frances,
do, guys.
I'm sorry for saying it that way.
It's okay.
But you guys, please be safe, and we will see you next week. Next Wednesday, we'll be back home. But another thing, Frances, we got to announce our Queen and Knights live stream. Should we do it tomorrow around this time?
Yes.
We'll do it probably tomorrow around this time. Okay, we're here. We got the setup now.
Might as well.
We'll do our members live. So for the Queens or Knights, if you're a member, we will see you at the same exact time tomorrow. Cool?
Cool.
All right. Adios, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Please be safe and love. Oh, wait.
What?
We have one more thing to do.
Oh, yes.
I almost pushed the button to end it, but we have some fan art.
Let's see it.
Goodness gracious, how did I almost miss this?
Check that out.
This is from Paris X Vibrations.
Wow.
They did this. Look at how suave I look.
Check you out.
Look at me.
Papi chulo.
Woo! You know what's so cool? I got my hands in my pocket. I got the look. I really like this picture. You got it
going on, homie.
I love that. Cool. That's really cool.
That is so cool.
So thank you for the art, Paris X Vibrations. And again, we're going to try to make sure we highlight someone's art piece, because we get so many wonderful art. We want to share it with you all. All right. Now I'm going to sign off.
Love you guys.
Going to DDJF. Love you all. Please be safe. See you next week. Adios.
Bye.